Hello and welcome. This is Fitness for Golfworks, and if your game matters, your fitness should matter. I'm your host, Michael Brannell. Today, I'd like to talk a little bit about cardiovascular conditioning or cardiovascular exercise, sometimes called aerobic exercise. There's different ways to do it. You've got your more steady state exercise where you're working between 60 and maybe 70%, 50 and 70% of your heart rate maximum reserve. And then there's more interval training where you go up, you come down, you go up, you come down. And then a lot of people, is very popular, is HIIT training where you're doing different exercises. Some of them can be strength training, some can be calisthenics, and you do it for brief periods and then a short rest period, and you continue and you do maybe, I think it's 4 cycles. So in terms of where to start, if you're new to it, if you can walk the golf course that you play, you probably already have a great baseline. So you do want to have a good baseline of cardiorespiratory endurance to carry you through a round. If you're a tournament player, to carry you through a tournament, and if you play in like a seasonal way, to carry you through the season. But probably the most effective way to train cardiovascularly is interval training. It's safe, it's effective, it's very efficient because you can do it in a short period of time. So 15 to 20 minutes, you can get your workout in. If you get a 3 to 5 minute warm up, say you go up for a minute, down for a minute, minute and a half, maybe you're doing 1-to-1 or you're doing a 1-to-2 ratio, and you do 4 or 5 of those higher peak intervals, and then a little warm down, that's all you need. So generally, I used to be a triathlete and a marathoner, so I know all about the different ways to train as a runner and as a swimmer and as a cyclist. But today, because of my orthopedic issues, mainly my cardio exercise is in the pool, and I'll do some type of a warm up. I usually do the aqua jogger to do a lot of mobility work, and that's maybe 10 to 12 minutes. I swam today, and then I'll do I do a little warm up, and then I get into my intervals, which can be 25 yards, 50 yards, maybe even 100 yards. And I'm usually doing 1-to-1 ratios. If I'm doing 25 yards and then I'm doing 1 to about a half, maybe if I'm doing 50s, that could take me anywhere from 45 seconds to a minute, and then a 30-second rest or so, and then a pause, and then another subset. And usually I'll accumulate about 60 laps in that time frame. But that's the way I do it. I used to be able to jump rope. I think jump roping is really super effective. You can work 20-second intervals, 30 seconds. Before I had my issues, I was up to 45 seconds with a 15-second rest and 10 of those, and that was very powerful. I wish I could still do that, but the returns on my investment are not good. So I stick with walking the golf course, and walking the golf course is a great way to get cardiovascular endurance because you got hills, you've got valleys, at least the courses I play, and you've got side slopes and all that stuff. And so you're working your feet, you're working your ankles, your balance system gets really conditioned in a way that's better than playing in the cart, and you're burning about 1,500 calories when you play, when you walk, whether you carry or you push or you pull, versus riding in the cart is about 800, maybe 1,000, depending on how far you have to walk between tees and greens, and or if it's cart path only, that's a lot of walking. That's actually more walking than walking the golf course. But anyway, it's important to have that in your programming somewhere. I would say at least twice a week. If you're lifting, I would say lift 2 to 3 days a week. Have 2 to 3 days of cardio. Generally, what I do is a lift day, swim day, a lift day, a swim day, maybe a day off, and then another lift day. And so I'm gathering about 5 workouts a week. And that works for me, but you find what works for you. And I hope you learned a little something.